Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to apply to be a guest in the show, just head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to Apply. All right, so today I'm in Los Angeles, California, and I'm at the Original Mixer. And let me tell you, Kathleen Tepley and Los Angeles Consulting Group, man, do they put on quite a mixer. We got family offices, we got funds, we got all kinds. The whole community came out for this one. So, and we're at the Lux, which is a beautiful venue. And my next guest, Vijay, man, welcome to the show.
Hi, Adam. Good to see you.
All right, so I know you're seeing it. You're here, the energy, all the people at packed house. What brings you out to the Original Mixer today?
So I came here for the panel that actually kicked everything off.
Yeah.
I was fortunate enough to be able to speak at the panel, which was really based around investing trends in private equity and venture capital. So I had the good luck to be able to participate in that and meet all the great people in attendance. So, the networking was really the hook for me to come out and, participate in the event today.
What, a lot of different ways you could spend your time. First off, I guess before I ask this question, how long have you been around the community, Los Angeles Consulting Group? How long have you been around the community?
Close to 2 years now.
Amazing.
Yeah, I feel like a newcomer still, but it's, it just shows how time flies. 2 years, and it's been a great 2 years.
What do you think makes this community different? I feel like there's something in the air, obviously, but what makes it different?
The closeness of the community. I come from New York. I grew up there. I spent much of my career in New York. And I think what moving out here to Los Angeles and becoming, part of the LACG community, what that showed me is that it's a very tight-knit community out here.
Yeah, it is, right?
People know each other, but people are all well, entrenched in what each other's doing. And I think that creates a lot of good collaboration opportunities and, just a camaraderie that is hard to find in other areas. For a place as big as Los Angeles, I'm surprised that the community is so well connected and together.
Yeah, and it's interesting, and I think, and this is a shameless plug for Los Angeles Consulting Group, but I think a lot of it has to do with when you come to certain events like this, or there's certain event organizers like Kathleen, they have that ability they deliver event after event after event. You come to the right event, you get what you're expecting. You're having the conversations you want to. You're not man, I just was in traffic for this.
Exactly, yeah. I think all too many times you find yourself driving home from an event and you ask yourself that question. But you're right. Kathleen and her team do a tremendous job of putting the right people together, putting the right people together. And like you said, volume of events. The only way you can really develop that closeness and network is by getting out. You see people 2, 3, 4 times. That's when you start building the connections. Yeah. So I think she has the right idea by just getting people out there.
And let's switch topic a bit here. Talk about your company and what you do.
So I work for a family office called Capri Capital Partners. We are the family office of a gentleman named Robert F. Mancuso. He was actually the founder and first CEO of Merrill Lynch Capital Partners, which was the private equity arm of Merrill. Through our flagship fund, we actually invest and partner with exclusively family-held businesses. Our mission and our goal is to provide capital to those families to help them navigate through periods of change. Oftentimes, those brought about by intergenerational transfers. And by that, I mean, a succession event where a business is being handed down from an owner, a founder, down to the next generation. And what comes with that is usually a fairly large capital and liquidity need. Now, whether that's estate taxes, today it will cost a family 40% of their estate, when a founder passes, a patriarch or matriarch passes. And that's just at the federal level before even talking about state. So that's a huge liquidity crunch for a family business where all the family's wealth is tied up in that business. And that's just one of many elements that contribute to this phenomenon. You have families that have diverging objectives that require shareholder buyouts. You've got different growth strategies under new ownership that just require capital to allow that business to execute on their objectives. And so, what we're doing is we're trying to preserve the legacy of these businesses and enable them to survive, to become multi-generational enterprises, without which, the unfortunate reality is that many of these families have to end up selling their business to fulfill the capital needs that come with these succession things.
How did you get involved in the industry? Like, where'd that start for you?
So I'm actually a banker by trade. I spent close to 10 years at Barclays Investment Bank in their leverage finance platform. So I was financing and providing committed financing to private equity firms looking to execute on LBO and M&A transactions. So I have a history in the capital markets and in the private investment space. And after doing that for a long time, I decided to make a move, and I actually got to know Bob, our founder, through a fellow colleague at Barclays. And once we got to talking about what Bob was doing, I was really intrigued. I think that it's a mission that matters. What we're doing is not just investing in attractive businesses, but what we're doing is we're preserving family businesses and the communities and residents that touch those family businesses.
Ecosystems.
We're giving a lifeline to those ecosystems. So, we're not only allowing a family to preserve their wealth, their generational asset, but we're giving life to a community. And it's a real impact that we're having. And, it's a mission that matters, and it's a market that's experiencing tremendous growth. This is all born out of the what people call the great wealth transfer. And that's, depending on where you look at the stat, it could be anywhere from, 70 to 100 plus trillion of assets being transferred from one generation to the next in the next 10, 20 years. Much of that is in business assets. And so that avalanche has already begun, and it's only accelerating with the aging of the baby boomer generation. And so we've identified this trend, and we believe that it's an underserved need by a lot of families in America, and it's one that's only growing. And we think that White Knight Capital is one of the few, if not only, vehicles that's purpose-built specifically for helping families navigate through that.
Man, that's amazing. Vijay, this is a great story, man. One that I'm happy to bring my audience. If people want to follow up, if they want to learn more about White Knight Capital, follow the journey, think about see the companies you're building in, and deal flow. I don't know, are you actively looking at other companies, opportunities to invest in still, or?
Yeah, we're actively looking at opportunities. We're actively assembling the fund right now, which is going to be composed of our own family capital along with fellow family offices that will join us. So we're all moving forward on all fronts, and we are actively looking for investments that fit our strategy.
That's awesome. Good stuff. Last thing I want you to do, look into the camera, Vijay. If somebody wants to follow up, if they want to learn more, how do they do it?
Well, you can visit our website at www.capricapitalpartners.com. You can also find us on LinkedIn. We have a company page. If you search White Knight Capital, you'll find us on LinkedIn. So we'd love to hear from people who are interested in learning more about our mission, folks who are interested in joining us on our journey to save the family legacy. We welcome all people and anyone who really wants to learn more about what we're doing and see how we could collaborate and partner to solve this mission.
Amazing. And for everybody watching at home, just so you know, we'll definitely put the links in the show notes, so you can just click on the links and head right on over. And speaking of the audience, if this is your first time with Mission Matters and you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe or follow button. This is a daily show. Each and every day, we're bringing you new content, new ideas, and hopefully new inspiration to help you along the way in your journey as well. So again, hit that subscribe or follow button. And Vijay, man, appreciate you coming on.
Thank you. Really good to see you.